So this is interesting. The $50 million lawsuit accusing Shannon Sharpe of assault has been dismissed with prejudice. Tony Buzbee, the same lawyer who went after Deshaun Watson and Jay-Z, who filed the suit, said that Jane Doe and Shannon Sharpe have reached a mutual resolution. Could be financial, we don't know. Both sides also agreed that the long-term relationship was consensual and tumultuous. So it was a toxic relationship, but it's also consensual. So I don't think a lot of folks who was making videos about Shannon, how horrible he is, are going to be reporting this at all, because they really don't report undismissed cases, right? So for Shannon, there's a couple of things here. One, he said back when this thing happened, when he left ESPN temporarily, he said, I'll be back before the NFL season. I didn't think that was possible. But what happened was they went to court like a few weeks ago, and Jane Doe and Tony Buzbee did not show up. Shannon was there, his defense was there, they didn't show up. And his defense team was looking to get this case dismissed. And evidently this case is dismissed. So will Shannon be able to go back to ESPN? I don't know. Now Stephen A. Smith will claim that it's not up to him, is up to the bosses. If Stephen A. wanted Shannon Sharpe back, he can get Shannon Sharpe back if he really wanted to. I don't know if Stephen A. wants Shannon there. So we'll see. If Shannon pops up, because the case was dismissed, great. If not, I wouldn't be surprised if Shannon is not back. I said in another post that, Fox FS1 just fired a bunch of people. I would be happy if they somehow brought Shannon back and just revive, maybe not Undisputed, but create a new show with Shannon and he's debating somebody else. Hell, Max Kellerman's coming back. I would watch Max and Shannon debate. That would be fun. But I'm not sure what they're doing with that. So we'll see if ESPN doesn't want Shannon back, if Fox will want Shannon, because Club Shay Shay is still doing well. Regardless of what people may think, the numbers of Club Shay Shay has not gone down, and the numbers for Nightcap with Ocho Cinco is still doing well as well. So Shannon didn't lose anything at all. He just lost his TV appearances on ESPN during this whole time, but his numbers are still pretty solid. Now, when it comes to dating, I would tell Shannon, if you want to date young, that's fine, because women was throwing themselves at zaddies all the time, and they're praising cougars all the time. So when women were jumping on Shannon, it's like, oh, he's dating someone so young. It's like, yeah, but you're throwing yourself at zaddies half the time, or you're cheering on somebody that's a cougar. Like, it's a conflict of interest. But now, I will say, if you're in your late 50s, 19 is too young. Man, listen, man. Even me, I'm a Gen Xer. I have nothing in common with someone that's 19, 18, 19, 20 years old. I hate most of their music. It's like we have nothing in common. And for Shannon, he needs to date. If he wants to go young, and maybe he wants to be a father one day, I don't know. Date someone that's in their late 20s. And he seems to like women who are into fitness. Just don't pick up some random fitness chick. Pick up someone that's actually teaching a class. Maybe she's teaching yoga, Pilates, weightlifting, fitness, like whatever it is. Get someone that has a career, that has that you can't go with someone. And no offense to the OnlyFans ladies out there and dudes, but don't go with someone who has an OnlyFans page. Now, if they had a whole career and then they went to OnlyFans, that might be slightly different. But if they're a young person and 19, 20 years old, 21, and they're already in OnlyFans, don't do that, bro, because they got nothing to lose. Like, they just, yeah, don't do that. You need someone that's a bit mature. If you want to date young, fine. 20, late 20s, early 30s. Someone mature, someone that's into fitness, but they're actually teaching a course, teaching a class. They're pretty responsible. Maybe they got a really good business mind, and maybe date someone that's into fitness that has a really good business mind. Do that. But yeah, so if he wants to date young, that's fine. But you gotta be careful, man. And I would tell him, watch all the Club Shay Shays where people are either clowning him or telling him the type of woman he needs to date. That means Monique. I don't know if Kat said anything to him, but definitely like Monique. Go watch the Monique interview again. Go watch all these interviews where people was talking about his dating situation. Like, he can't. When you're a Gen Xer, you gotta learn very quickly that you're older. You don't want to admit that you're older, but you're older. You got gray in your beard. You know, your pop culture references are kind of old. Like you talk about the '90s and they give you a blank look. You might even talk about the 2000s. You get a blank look. Like young folks, man. If it hasn't been around since 2015, they stop at like 2015. Anything before that is all old school. So if I gave Shannon any type of information, stay away from OnlyFans chicks, and or they had a full career and they're doing this to make money. But if they're young OnlyFans, stay away from them. Stay away from anybody younger than 26 years old. Um, get someone that has something to lose. Get someone that has a really good business mind and or they're entrepreneurial so they can help you out with your company. But I'm not going to come down on him. I'm not going to come down on these ladies. Because the one thing that was weird, they kept on saying like he was dating a child. She was 19. She was a grown woman. If she's on OnlyFans, she's a grown woman. Maybe not super grown, but she's legal. So it's like his only fault was he went too young. So Shannon, I don't want to see Shannon in this situation again. In fact, I don't want to see Shannon date nobody right now. Like, don't date anybody. Focus on building Club Shay Shay. Focus on with Nightcap of Ocho Cinco. And better yet, see if ESPN, see if you can come back to ESPN. If they don't want you, go check out Fox, FS1, FanDuel. Now Shannon might be a little hot property right now. Maybe they don't want to get him right now, but I definitely do think by 2026, I think we'll see Shannon Sharpe back on TV. So what do you think about this case being dismissed against Shannon Sharpe? And what do you think the people who was ripping Shannon to shreds, do you think they'll tell y'all, hey, by the way, this case was dismissed? Or will they just go on to the next person to rip apart?